Hi students, Dr. Hennings again. Thanks so much for joining with me. Just give me a second here to go over some policies and some rules for engagement for the course for this term. There are some housekeeping things that we got to deal with as we're getting to know each other and as we're getting ready to start the term. So let's start with the first one, which is the certification. So when you first start, on your first day logging in, you should get on the week one, there's a certification there. And what that is basically a document that you sign that you understand the terms and the rules of engagement for the course. It's really very simple. You just have to do it one time, and then you'll check that box. Another thing is it is a kind of a crazy time for us. Some of you are just transitioning into distance learning, and I understand that there are some things that might pop up along the way, namely internet issues or computer issues, that sort of thing. It is definitely not a good policy to turn in work late routinely. However, there is a late policy in the event, hopefully unlikely event that does happen. And the late policy is posted under announcements. The most important thing, however, is communication. So with respect to communication with me, I want to give you a couple of things. The first is my email, and all of this information, if you don't have a pen handy, all the information is available under the Meet Your Instructor tab on the left-hand side of your screen. So that'll have all my contact information, but my email address is mhennings@kaiseruniversity.edu. That's Hennings with an S on the end. Everybody gets that wrong. The second thing is my cell phone number, which is also available on the Meet Your Instructor tab. I want to take a second to talk about some rules as far as the cell phone use goes. This is really for things where if you have a brief question and you want to ask, if I'm in between seeing patients or teaching another course, I may not be able to get to my email routinely. I will get back to your emails within 24 hours, definitely. But if you have a more urgent or pressing question that you're going to be missing a class or you can't sign on or whatever happens to be, please just text me on my cell phone. But I want you to put your name and your course name at the top of your text message so that I know, because in the event that I'm teaching more than one class at the same time, which is pretty common for me, then I'll know exactly which course you're in so I don't have to shuffle back and forth on my roster. If it's a more lengthy question, email might be better. And you're always welcome to email me every day if you want to. It's absolutely fine. I'll definitely get back within 24 hours. As far as in-depth questions about material. If you're having a hard time grasping the material, you're not sure, if you have some questions, you can always use the Ask Questions tab, and I do check that every day. So if you have questions on material and you say, could you just go over peripheral nervous system a little bit more in depth, and I'm happy to do that. That's what I'm here for. However, if you want to discuss it more on a one-on-one thing, I do have office hours. Office hours are on Wednesdays, and that's from 6 to 7 p.m. The reason that I do that is that we have a live course, and our live course is going to be every Wednesday starting at 7 p.m. So I like to do my office hours right before so that I have a chance to address to the entire class. If you bring up a really good question, which I hope you do, then I can immediately address the entire class after office hours, so that your question can get answered, because if you don't understand it, odds are somebody else didn't understand it either, and I'm human, so maybe I glazed over something that I made assumptions about. As far as other communications between you and your classmates and me, among all of us, one thing that we're going to do is threaded discussions. If you click on the Discussions tab on the left-hand side, you are responsible for posting each week a new thread in response to some questions that have been provided for you. And then you're also required to respond to 2 of your classmates. So you're posting 3 times per week, 1 original response, 2 replies to your classmates. And if you click on the Discussions tab, there is a rubric, and that rubric is provided for you so that you understand what's required of you. One thing that we need to address also is the plagiarism penalties. Kaiser University, so if you read your syllabus and if you go on the university's website, there is a quote of suspension or dismissal for punishment of plagiarism. It's really very serious. at Kai's University, so I'd highly discourage that. One way that you could protect yourself is by using APA format to cite, and you could quote and cite anybody else's work if you want to, as long as you give them credit. Just use APA format, please, if you don't mind, because that's typical among the science fields. And there is, under the Start Here tab, there is a link to APA hints, because it can be a little tricky sometimes. But one of my favorites has always been Purdue OWL. And Purdue OWL is very comprehensive at talking about APA formats. As far as we're talking about professionalism with not plagiarizing, just keep in mind that when you speak to your peers and you speak to your professors, you are training to be in a very professional field. And it's important that you start, if you haven't already, to conduct yourself as a professional. So remember, we're going to use appropriate language, be considerate of other people's feelings. I'm sure this is something that, you're in college, you should have already learned that by now, but if you hadn't, this is probably a good time to start. As far as the live chat goes, that's going to be under the Kaiser Live tab on the left-hand side, and that should take you right into our class. So you don't have to go shuffling around in different media, and that will be again on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. That is subject to change, unfortunately, in the event that we have some other things that pop up, but I promise you I'll try to give you at least 24 hours notice. I don't plan on moving it at this point, but if in the event that we have to, just keep in mind that flexibility in this day and age has become paramount. Your assignments are due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. the week following. So in week one, your week one assignments will be, start on Sunday at week one. Your assignments will be due the following Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And then if you aren't able to make it, again, please refer back to the announcements page, and that's where the late assignments tab is. But again, communication is key. Give me a heads up, let me know what's going. We'll try to be flexible if we can, but we got a lot of students and there's a lot of stuff coming in. So just try to stay in touch if you can, please. And that's about all I have. I hope that you guys are all very excited to get started. I know I am. If you have any questions, go to the Meet Your Instructor page, and you can text or email me at any time, and we'll get you started. I look forward to meeting all of you, and don't forget to do your certification right off the bat. Thanks very much, and I look forward to meeting you soon.